Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Authentic Conversations. If this is your first time joining us, I am Amarelli and my co-host Susan. Hello, Susan.
Hello, Amaryllis. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Feeling the spring energy.
Oh, feeling the spring energy. Yeah, well, I don't know. If you're in central New York, you just got a foot of snow. So maybe not quite feeling the spring energy. If you're in Florida, it is, 82 and sunny. So, but true, the weather doesn't necessarily dictate the energy, right? So spring energy, renewal, rebirth. Um, yeah, kind of a clean out of sorts.
Yes. And I'm trying to declutter.
Ooh.
And when it comes to your own stuff, because of course I can go to your house and organize and declutter your space very easily because there's no attachment.
That's right,
Um,
because my stuff isn't your stuff. Although sometimes I make your stuff my stuff. Oh wow, we got lots of subs going on here, right? Right. So decluttering, right? Decluttering can be material things, the release of items, particular things that you've held on to in case you might need them or because they hold a certain memory, but the items don't hold the memory. Your heart holds the memory. The item is recall. But it's not just decluttering like spring is renewal. It's not just decluttering your stuff on the outside. Sometimes it's decluttering the stuff on the inside. It's like reorganizing your thoughts and your beliefs and your ideas and your desires.
Absolutely. So I'm doing two types of decluttering, Susan. So there's the garage and there's letting go of sugar in my diet.
Oh, I try.
Not
I try. Yeah.
and for me the diet, I'm gonna put this in quotations because if you see me, you would be like, you don't need to be in a diet. Not a diet of it's a taking care of myself and what my body is my temple and practicing what I preach and of being mindful of drinking more water and the intake of the sugar, um, because I sometimes forget eating. I can go, and then all of a sudden I'm kind of like hangry person and not realizing that I just didn't take care of myself because of the
The
taking care of
quality,
others.
right, and the quality of what you put in, right? So what we're eating, right? It dictates our energy. It dictates our ability to function. It dictates the clarity in our mind. It dictates how we feel in our physical body. So it's interesting, when you heal the inside, it shows on the outside, right? What we take care of on the inside, whether you're healing your thoughts or you're healing your health or you're, healing your physical body, that all starts from inside. And when I think about these diet fads and, pills and the quick way and the easy way and the quick fix, right? Those are all band-aids. Because think about the body. When the body is struggling emotionally, right, it creates a protective layer. So we have this protective layer. Now we're not necessarily taking care of ourselves. We're not necessarily using the right fuel. We're not necessarily talking to ourselves in the right way. So the decluttering of the inside is really the releasing of old patterns and cycles of behaviors, because what happens is the consumption of sugar or the overeating or the the self-soothing through food
Or no
create
food, the not
or
no eating, because
or
let's talk
no
about
eating.
that. A lot of people talk about eating a lot. I'm the opposite. not
So
eating.
disordered eating, right? Disordered eating means that, you have a relationship with eating that is unhealthy one way or the other, right? So sometimes we physically cannot eat when we're stressed or upset, or sometimes we overeat when we're stressed or upset, depending on, what our tendencies are or our habits are. Right? So sometimes we're stressed and upset, we actually withdraw from food, and other times we overindulge. But think about, I want to specifically go back to like losing weight, right? People who want to lose weight. In order to lose weight, you have to do a clean out of your thought process, a clean out of your priorities, a clean out of what is important. I mean, we're talking about spring cleaning. So change your beliefs, change your mindset, change your actions, change your life.
Okay. But here's another thing that I have to let go that I'm having a hard time with, Susan.
Mhm.
Alcohol.
Mm. Yeah, because I mean, our system is not necessarily designed, right? Alcohol is a depressant, it's a drug. I mean, it's not just drugs and alcohol, it's alcohol is part of the drug system because it chemically alters the body. So alcohol, we could go on for weeks, months, years. Alcohol is this socially acceptable, as a matter of fact, not even just socially acceptable. It's socially
Expected.
encouraged. That's right. That's right. The alcohol industry, right, is a multi-billion-dollar industry. I mean, really, when you think about advertising, political, social norms, it's huge. So people who to drink is more the norm than to not drink alcohol.
Absolutely. So my body is telling me clearly it doesn't want it.
Yeah.
It's I mean, I'm having the reaction the next day just from one drink, guys. We're not talking about me partying and having 20 drinks and having a hangover. Literally one drink. I can try in different things when it used to be that wine was really bad. Then a mixed cocktail started happening again. Last week I had one beer, one. The next day was horrible.
Yeah.
And I
My
know that
my body likes none of it. None of it. My body does not appreciate, and I mean, I had my share of, I've had my share of alcohol in my life. But I've also found that for the last, I don't know what it's been, 10 years, it's not really been a part of who I am. And, does it change the social scene? Yes. Yes. I mean, I'm the one who give her an ice water. Give her an ice water with lemon so it looks fancy. You know what I mean? I don't care because I know how I feel. And I'll tell you the same thing. I can have a garlic hangover if I eat too much garlic. If I have sugary treats before bed, I wake up with a headache. So just tuning into my
Mhm.
body and understanding that it's the response reaction, stimulus response reaction, I'm putting this stuff in my body that's creating this god awful feeling. So how do I stop the god awful feeling?
How do you stop? I mean, come on, and you better. I've had a whole month without having any.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm out and about and I'm mingling and I'm having a great time. And I go to myself, I'll tell myself, okay, it's just going to be one.
Yeah. Well, because you'll do that and it will remind you the next morning. And then you'll decide, was that worth it? And at some point, the answer will be no. At some point, you're like, give me the ice water.
Damn, but I keep telling myself that maybe this time around it's going to be different. What's that all about?
Oh, well, so tell me the definition of crazy. Doing the same thing, expecting different results. Sorry.
No, I mean, like, I know I'm sitting there and I'm telling myself that it's okay. Just
Mhm.
like the clutter in my garage that I'm going to need all these school books and wires because the day that I'm going to let them go is the day the next day I'm going to need them.
That's right. Of course you are. And then you'll just go buy one because that day will never come. But, listen, excuses, right? Excuses, very plain and simple, right? They're lies we tell ourselves so that we can make ourselves feel better about what it is that we're doing or not doing.
Okay, so how do we change? I mean, I do it for a little bit and then I go back. So
Yeah,
here's
and
the
that's
other,
okay.
right?
And so, but so even the practice of mindfulness, right? When we think about the practice of mindfulness, we do it for a little bit and then we fall back. You know what I mean? We start thinking better and we start feeling better. And then we get, I don't want to say careless, but, a little lackadaisical in our practice. And we backslide and we backslide and then we backslide, and how long we stay there is really determined by how much suffering we need. We're inviting suffering into our own lives
Because we're used to the suffering.
because we're accustomed to suffering. You're like, wow, I felt really good, but I'm just going to sabotage myself so that I can go back to feeling normal. Oh, wait, normal is suffering. How does normal become feeling really good? Practice. Practice. So whatever bad habit that you have, or whatever habit, it doesn't even have to be bad. I don't even like the word bad. Whatever habit you have that's not serving you, that you would like to break, you've got to stay the course. And you've got to know that it's a bit of a roller coaster and it's going to ebb and flow. And you get support from the people around you. You speak it into existence. And the people who support you are the ones you surround yourself with. You know what I mean? You're like, yeah, I'm not going to do this anymore. And you say it out loud so that your intentions are clear. And people will help you hold yourself in. And then it becomes a thing. Look at me. Power comes from consistency. So I can find my power by being consistent with myself, not making excuses for myself, but being consistent without judging when I fall. I get up, I brush myself off. I have not lost time. I have not lost anything. I've learned. It's validating what I need to do, which is what I already know, which is stay the course and work on releasing the thing that is keeping me in suffering or no longer serving me. I think the world is shifting. I think more and more people are exploring relationships with alcohol. When you think about your crowning moments, most of them don't involve alcohol. You know what I mean? Like when you reflect
Yeah.
on, those things that you feel really proud of, and I don't want to go the other way, but it certainly is the other way, right? When you look on those most shameful or most embarrassing or most, frustrating things, a lot of times it ties back to, ingesting something that's designed to alter who you are.
And it's the same thing with, I mean, not, it's like sugar. Like I've had a back and forth with my sugar intake. I love my
Highly addictive.
coffee in the
Highly,
morning, and then I could, I'll do 3 day, 2 weeks with no sugar. I'm like, okay, I'm doing great. And then there's this one day where I'm just like, oh well, I can give myself a treat because I've been so good.
right, right. No, no, I've been so good that I can feel really good about having been so good. I don't need a treat. Why am I going to give myself poison to treat myself for moving away from poison?
It's so good, that donut.
Oh, good for who?
Like
Good for
glazed
somebody
donut.
else. Good for somebody else. See it though, like this is just the, like this is the pattern and this is what we do. And we know who we are, but think of how powerful you are when you can truly honor and respect who you are at the very essence of yourself. It's like, so I don't need to drink to find an altered state of consciousness. I can do that in my own body. I can use my breath. I can use relaxation techniques. I can shift my mind to a space that feels like the whole entire universe. And I don't need alcohol to do that. I don't need alcohol to like myself enough to have other people like me. Oh, ouch. I don't need alcohol to belong. I'm already connected. I'm already connected. So I don't have to do something that goes against who I am. If other people feel uncomfortable about it, guess what, Don Miguel Ruiz? It's not my
Not your
business.
business.
It's not your business, right? So if other people are, most people aren't comfortable with, um, most people are comfortable with people's alcohol consumption and they're uncomfortable when people don't. There's something wrong with that.
Absolutely. I mean, when it comes to me and drinking, I actually cannot drink too much because I'm always happy. So when I drink, obviously I'm gonna be that sad drunk person crying about everything.
Mm.
So in it's just that one drink that I want to have because I want to be social.
Because you want to belong, because you
I
want to
want to
feel
belong.
like you're a joiner. Think
And I
about,
mean, come on, this is just one. I mean, how
I
I
know
can now feel I just feel for those that have, a harder time because I know some of my friends will say I cannot even have one because that one turns into 10.
that's right. And it's part of
Um,
the programming. It's part of the wiring, and part of the wiring, is that you have to be able to know what's right for you. And if you can power through this, then you can do anything. I mean, it's what it teaches us. It teaches us that, we really are in charge of our own bodies. We're in charge of our own experiences.
so you don't have if you're struggling with alcohol, first of all, we do want to tell you, please get help. Please find a great support team
Talk to
that,
people. Yes.
um, and I know some people feel like when they talk to others that have had a bigger problem than I'm having, they'll say, well, I had my child or I had this. What happens if somebody can't find that reason? Do we ourselves is enough of a reason? Is that
Your own value, yes, is enough of a reason. And so we use alcohol. Alcohol is like the most obvious, but I mean, it could be overworking, it could be drugs, it could be sex, it could be,
be
the
clutter? It could be all this
thing,
garage clutter. I mean, I have a fear sometimes in my aunt has a tendency of she does, in clutter and hoarding is an
hoardish.
illness.
Yeah.
So there's a part of me, and I finally spoke it out with my friends, with my close, family relatives about it because it was a kind of a joke, like I always had like one piece that has a lot of stuff. I'm the one that if you're looking for a memory, I got it. Like
Yeah.
that napkin that you wrote on.
Right.
And I'm a Cancer, so anyways.
Yes. Yes. The
But it comes
napkin
to
memory
a,
will always be there.
a point where is that fine line, and I have seen the other side in my family. And so I had to come to terms with it and speak with my cousin, and because she said something, and I finally thought about it, and I said, I have a little bit of an issue. I get very attached to things. I moved a lot and I lost a lot of materials. I know it's material, but in my transitions, these were the little things that made me feel like I had a home, right?
Yeah.
Because I kind of moved around a lot. And so I've had to learn to let go. And also in that letting go, sometimes I can hold on to things so much because it is that feeling and I can feel it. And I'm working through it slowly.
Yeah.
And so please, if you're going to help me clean my garage, please be aware that it might be weird that I'm holding on to this one thing. And how do you speak to me so that I don't,
Well, you've got to
you
come
know,
to terms with it. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I just want to go back to, other things that we can be addicted to or caught up in, right? And there's two other thoughts and then we'll wrap up. But um one is self-sabotage. We could actually be addicted to self-sabotage.
Oof,
Yeah.
that's a whole episode there.
Yep, yep, yep. So save that. And here's another episode, right? We can be addicted to drama. Are you attracting drama? Do you have a love-hate with the social group you're in? And you know what I mean? So the addictive personality, the programming that comes from the outside, we gravitate towards things that fill our needs, that cushion us, that give us layers of protection, that make us feel safe and secure. And we don't need anything from the outside to do that. Everything we need is already inside of us. So sometimes we need to talk it through. We need to get some help. We need to shift our perspective. So, recognize the habit or the sabotage or the addiction. Um, you know, Speak it out loud, acknowledge it, own it, rethink it, reframe it, release it. Release it. I know it sounds like 4 simple steps. It is work, but
It is.
you're in
And so
charge of the suffering.
support,
Yeah.
guys. Be
Connections.
honest with yourself and be honest with those around you. The closest one or two people that you can say, hey, this is a touchy thing. So I need the support to just allow me, and it's just taking the small steps. I've been taking small steps of looking at one box.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's never going to be over, but it will, because it does get better of letting go. It does get better of the sugar or that one drink or that box that I need to get rid of. These are all the same thing because they're all things that are just letting go because they were my comfort zone.
Yeah, they're right. They're holding you back because you're holding on to them. Old narratives. So
So
spring clean out. Let's get it done a little bit at a time. Stay the course, practice. Yeah. Thank you.
thank you guys for joining us.